Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So it has been a little while. I tried to come back, but I just didn't feel ready. So I'm hoping within the next couple of weeks I can get back to my regular scheduled lives and uploads. But for today, what I wanted to do is to give you a video with some of the latest updates with cases that we're following. So let's dive in. So there has been updates with Gannon Stout's case, and look, I know I'm a little late on this, and that, you know, every true crime content creator has discussed this already, so I'm only going to briefly discuss what we know so far. There has been an arrest in the case of missing 9-year-old Gannon Stout. Gannon went missing on January 29th of this year whilst in the care of his stepmother, Letitia Stout, also known as T. She came under intense attention both online and in the media for her behaviour during this time, and was caught lying about the timeline for the day Gannon went missing. For more information on that, please watch my other video on the case linked in the description. On March 2nd, Letitia Stout was charged with the following counts: murder in the first degree, child under 12, position of trust, child abuse resulting in death, tampering with a deceased human body, and tampering with physical evidence. She was arrested in South Carolina. A press conference was held and this news was announced, and Gannon's mum and dad were in the background and was so visibly upset. Obviously, it was very hard to watch and to listen as Landon Gannon's mum actually spoke out. I will leave a link to the press conference where you can actually go and watch it if you'd like to. It's about a 20-minute, half an hour presser, and I think about a third of the way through, Landon does actually speak. She's an absolutely incredible woman and her strength is inspiring, but you can see the pain of knowing now that police don't believe that Gannon is alive at all, and that now they're hoping to find his body and for justice for him. She has had an extradition hearing in South Carolina as her charges are in Colorado, and obviously needs to go to Colorado to face these charges. She did have an extradition hearing in which her behaviour was quite interesting. I'd love for you to go and watch the extradition hearing and come back in the comments and tell me what you think. But she didn't fight extradition, so she is being brought to Colorado. Now, if you have a look at the tweets on the screen, you can see that she was actually, as of 4 hours ago, in Kansas. So they believe that they're possibly driving her across state lines to get her to Colorado. So she should be in Colorado soon. Moving on to Fotis Dulos, and yesterday the Superior Judge dropped the charges against Fotis Dulos following his suicide on January 28th. Doulos' attorney, Non Pattis, wanted to continue to fight the charge in court. However, that ended today after the judge granted Stanford State Attorney's motion to suspend the prosecution following the death. Non Pattis has now revealed how he and Doulos' legal team plan to defend Fotis. Doulos claims that he found a pile of bloodied clothes on his porch whilst he was with a key witness. That witness hasn't been named in court. He then dumped the clothes, as seen on surveillance cameras. Non Pattis commented after the judge dismissed the charges and said, "It is my hope that someday, somewhere, we will get a fact finder to listen to all of the evidence in this case to prove that Mr. Doulos did not murder his wife, but he himself a victim of a system that rushed to judgment. I believe that had this case been tried, that Mr. Doulos would have been found not guilty." Both Michelle Troconis and Ken Owini will still face their charges in the disappearance and death of mother of 5 Jennifer Doulos. I will continue to cover this case with the hopes of some justice for Jennifer, and I truly, truly hope that they are able to find Jennifer's body, her remains, so that her 5 children and her mother, and of course all of her loved ones, can finally bring her home. Revisiting an Australian crime that I did a true crime spotlight on, it is the case of Eurydice Dixon. She was sadly found deceased on June 13th of 2018. She was 22 years old at the time, and she had actually been found in Melbourne's Princess Park. She had been walking home from a comedy gig that she'd performed in when 19-year-old James Todd stalks her on her way home, which is just terrifying, and then he rapes her and murders her. He was given a life with a non-parole period of 35 years, which to some people is still actually a pretty light sentence. Here in Australia, life isn't actually life. It's usually about 20-30 years. So he had pleaded guilty to that. He had been diagnosed as a sexual sadist as well. Now, given he was 19 years old at the time, 35 years means that he's probably going to get out when he's in his 50s. But apparently that wasn't good enough for him. So Todd and his defence team have actually appealed this and said that the 35-year jail term was excessive. They presented some mitigating factors which I wanted to tell you about. So they wanted to dramatically lessen the 35-year-old non-parole sentence because he was only 19 when he committed the crime, because he pleaded guilty, because he made admissions to police that they would not have known unless he had told them, and because he apparently shows remorse. However, one of the judges that heard the appeal actually said that was completely infactual and he had no remorse. Todd had no previous criminal history. He is diagnosed as autistic, and that because he's in protective custody. So apparently because of those reasons, he should actually get less time in jail, which I'm sorry, but that makes no sense to me personally. So as to what will happen, March 12th we will find out. The appeal judges will hand down their decision then. So I will definitely let you know what happens, because this has actually kind of annoyed me a little bit, because he stalked Eurydice. It wasn't just, it was very, very intense and just awful, and I think that he should be so lucky as to get 35 years, to be honest. I think that he's a threat to society. That's my personal belief. The last case I want to bring you tonight is a new one, and it's a very interesting one. Alicia Williams, who you see on the screen, has been arrested in North Carolina for murdering her husband, Tyler Williams, on March 1. Okay, so let's break this down. You can see on the screen in a moment a Facebook post that was put up by her sister, and it talks about how Alicia has been suffering or struggling with mental health issues as well as drug issues, which is really horrible. The other thing that's been added into this case is that Alicia took a photo of poor Tyler after he had been killed and posted it on her Facebook. She also had a friend over for coffee that day and told the person there for coffee don't worry about the body. I just shot him this morning. So she's had someone over for coffee that's seen this poor man deceased. It's absolutely crazy. There's really not a lot of information or articles on it, but I want to do some digging overnight. And if I find out anything more, I will of course post it in the Facebook group, as well as maybe pop up a little video to give you any more information about that. They do have a child together, so that's absolutely awful. She's got several other charges pending related to drug possession, but that's the basis that I know so far. There is a photo floating around on social media, the photo that Alicia did put up on Facebook of Tyler, so just be careful because you may accidentally stumble across it, and it is obviously very graphic. I want to say thank you so much for watching the video and for supporting me during this time. It's been obviously really, really difficult and I have lost my confidence quite a lot, so it may take me some time to sort of build up that confidence again to come live. But of course, I will continue to cover true crime. It is a passion of mine to get news out there and to help victims in any way that is possible. So please like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.